is he going to be able to connect in full? Can he convert here? He does not.
So many players are landing in front of Mongrel here. Coming down to the wire. Top 9 remaining. One in front of Mongrel. Does he get the elim? He manages to just get away by the skin of his teeth. And now Mongrel gets up to the high ground. Maybe using this. If you keep jumping on the wall, you won't go out of the shadow state. He gets up top, but there's no one going to be there. There's a person all the way above him. Knocks the structure down. And the player does manage to catch himself and maintain the high ground positioning here. We have some great players still left in this game. But Mongrel with 4 eliminations is looking for number 5. And that was on Nate. We're now down to the final moment. Top 5 monster.
He has to fully commit there. Those are the maps that he needs. He's still in the game here. He's going to go all the way for it, and that's the trade-off with the 109 to the face here.
Huge elimination on Takamura. We're into a 1v1v1v1. Top 4 players now. Mongrel in the ultimate low ground. Going up against the player. It's got to be Booga. The game 1 winner will not be enough against Mongrel, who does get picked quite a bit. He loses a lot of HP. No more bills, but the victory royale goes to the veteran Som, who manages to pick up a massive win.
Using the shockwaves in the final moments to snatch the high ground, Som claims a victory, but it's Mongrel who had a ton of eliminations and really was the ruining factor for so many of our top 10 competitors in that round right there.
Mongrel was running roughshod in the ultimate low ground, but it's Som, the vet. He has performed in so many competitions at a high level, and it's no surprise here. When Som gets that high ground, everyone needs to look out. He's so good at that. Mongrel had no builds left. He had no HP to work with. He did the job he needed to do. Top 2. He got second place and a bunch of eliminations. And Shockwave's late game again, Monster. Such a great piece of equipment that you can use.
Love that right there. Stands up, flexes, hits us with the let's go. He's feeling good. And that's a huge accomplishment to take a victory. And just you only have so many opportunities to win a game here. Just to do that alone, it's magnificent.
Yeah, it really, magnificent is the best word that I could think of at those final moments. Games 3 and 4 certainly did not disappoint. Oh, that was a wild, wild game. Here are the standings, though. Booga still holding on to first place. Look how far ahead he is. 8 points currently. But Som now jumps in to second place. Nate in third. Riversand, who's managed to put together some great games, is in fourth. Rux as well. Epic Whale in sixth. Skite and Dubs get knocked down to 7 and 8. And King, who has been very aggressive, is in 9th. And then Peter Pan from South Korea in 10th place.
Doing so good. The last player we saw in 11th place, Epic Whale, shot himself up to that front page, guys. So don't count out Andretta, Benji, Savage, or anyone else here in the top 20 because they have what it takes. Look at how close the point threshold is.
Yeah.
Everyone is in the running for top 10 right here. And that's life-changing prize on the line here. The stakes are so high.
Yeah, the gap is so small, and these players have the capability of being able to get into the top 10. 2 more games remain. Wonder who's going to take it all, but let's go down to the stage. We got Jordan standing by with our Game 4 winner, Som.
And a huge Game 4 win for Som. Now sitting at second place in the standings, feeling really, really good right now. We're just talking about that high ground take. You said, I didn't think that it was going to work, but real domination right there at the end. What was your thought process going up against such a stacked final 10 people? I mean, some of the players that were there are all capable of clutching this up.
After I got the high ground, I was just focused on playing safe, make sure I don't lose the high ground, make sure no one impulses up to take my high ground. And then, I let everyone on the ground do their thing, and then I clean up.
And the cleanup was real. Back to you, Golden Boy and Monster D-Face.
Always a pleasure to hear from Som, a veteran in competitive Fortnite and doing it once again. No shocker there. You take the risk, you make the bold play, and sometimes it pays off. And in that instance, it definitely did. He's coming out quite pretty from there. I believe was in second place currently in the standings. That was a nutty game.
He's been in top 10 this whole time. Since the competition has begun, he's been chipping away at placement. And that last one, and that is exactly what he wanted and needed here to keep him relevant.
Yeah, so many great moments in that game. And while we had a best seat in the house. There were some moments that maybe we didn't catch. And the good news is we got one of the best VOD reviewers in the game. Ball is standing by to break it all down.
Thank you so much, GB. Yes, we have 2 games remaining. It looks like Sam and Booga repeating that first game success early on. They're going to move forward at the top of the leaderboard. But for now, we're going to take a look at some of Rux's performances and some of his shots that pushed him up to 5th. So while we roll these clips, Rux in the end game. First, he set himself up brilliantly in the early game against Arkham. We've talked about Arkham a number of times. This duel has been going on every single game here. Rux takes the better of Arkham and gets the loadout that he needs to push on forward here with the infantry and the combat shotgun and heals to boot. Only 1 mat remaining through this entire time. Doesn't quite get those mats after finding the elimination onto Core Gaming, so he's working through old structures here, other players' structures. And that's when you start going sneaky beaky mode. He stays crouched, make sure that no sound is coming through for that elimination onto Slade. He had high ground in this position. Nice shot there onto Light. Unbelievable flick shot with the combat shotgun. And then this is when I believe it was somebody else took high ground here. Beautiful retake. It's Stompy. Rux brings himself up into 5th place with that. We'll see if he continues to climb. But for now, we've got 2 more games to go. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you so much for breaking that down, Bala. Rux, who has been time and time again showing up in the top 10. We always see his name, whether we
to win every fight. They want every point. That's why he's in first. There's a reason he's one of the best solo players on the court.
아시아 서버에서 나이는 처음에 자연스러운 후반에 가가지고 후반에 맘 놓고
4 victory royales, and we averaged 8 elims. Obviously, first place. That's unbelievable.
이제 아시아는 스팀 같은 게 없기 때문에 연습을 제대로 별로 못했기 때문에 그만두고 운에 맡겨야 될 것 같습니다.
New York City. Oh, okay, Black Fox. I'll take you out for a good pizza. I know a couple good spots.
한국인 문제가 불렀는데
Hey Fortnite fam, BallTW here to get in the nitty-gritty of competitive Fortnite. The final circles in competitive Fortnite are packed tightly with both action and strategy, all fighting in Victory Royale. Let's introduce one of the most common techniques used to outlast your opponents in those congested is tunneling. Also known as tunneling, you build a protected tunnel while running away from the storm and into the next safe zone. These safe zones get so small.
aka Tifu. I qualify from the North American East region.
This is not good anyway. We're trying to take him in. Can you get him to drop it? All of the shots.
They had qualified pretty high. I didn't even believe it was real at the time. I don't know. I was just kind of screaming, grinding, doing my own thing, and I tried my hardest and succeeded, I guess.
Landing on the top, drops him.
mature, so dedicated. Very rare to see.
안녕하세요. 저의 이름은 김도환이고 플레이어 닉네임은 흑제입니다. 나이는 그리고 14살입니다.
Disciplined. Drops down. He's focused. That was an ambitious play. He wants to push it. What a charge through the box in there. That's what he needs to do the best.
여기 간 다음에 제일 중요한 거는 이걸 타고 여기부터
I first met with Jay when he was the youngest player in our team.
팀원들과 함께 많은 자상을 하고 있습니다. 가족 같고 든든하고 좀더 위인 그런 팀인 것 같습니다.
The team really looks at Jay as the little brother that everybody wants to take care of.
저는 일어나자마자
Tempo is quite a bit faster than a lot of the other players.
Jay runs on forward.
아무래도 건설이 재미있어서 목표를 잘 생각했습니다. 저는 포타이트 게임을
He wants to always be creative, always change up his playstyle, and steal the tempo from his opponents.
Ladies and gentlemen, huge shout out to Mike Realm. Spinning over there, guys. Give it up for him. And now we are one step closer to crowning our first Fortnite World Champions in solos. History is about to be made here, folks. And now I want to ask everyone here in the arena, are you ready? Let's do it one more time. I'm going to ask you again. Are you ready? Let's send it over to your casters for the last two games, Courage and Dr. Lupo.
Over a year ago, the Fortnite World Cup was announced, and here today it culminates in the final two games of the solos competition. $30 million in prize money this weekend, and in two games, Dr. Lupo, we will crown another Fortnite World Champion.
We've seen a ridiculous number of plays from everybody on the field. Yep. Even moments like King going out, literally the first just slaying out in the lobby. We love to see gameplay like that. Very aggressive from a number of players that honestly a lot of us didn't even expect to show up on the board. You have to remember though, every single player that has qualified for the solo finals here at the Fortnite World Cup in New York City is at the top of their game. 40 million people played through. This is what's left, the best of the best of the best.
We know the storylines continue throughout this lobby of the 100 best players in the world. We have two games left. Our standings, well, they're very close, and Sundown's going to update us on where they lock up.
Thank you so much, Lupo and Courage, with only 2 matches left to decide who is the world champion solo player, who is the best of the best of the best. We're going to take a look at what the standings currently look like and what needs to happen. So the first thing you're going to see right away is the runaway train Bugha up top. 1 victory royale leading the pack with 15 eliminations at 37 points, 8 points clear. But we talked about it a little bit yesterday and a lot during the qualifiers. What is a reasonable game to expect? We've seen a lot of the victory royales today actually coming from more passive players. They've been getting around 11 to 12 points apiece. We've been seeing high volume eliminations happening in the early and the mid game. But right now, looking at this board, Peter Pan sitting in 10th place right now is just off of the mark. He's 16 or 18 points off. With a reasonable game, he could challenge towards that. Let's take a look at the second page, because then from 10th to 20th, it is a 4-point difference. Mongrel, with a fantastic performance in the last game, pushes himself into contention, and this top 20 is the line where you will see an increase in that prize bonus. You want to be at minimum on this page when all is said and done. 2 matches are left. We have already seen world champions crowned in creative and duo. Who will be the ultimate victory royale and who will take home the title? We're going to throw it back inside and see the final 2 matches. Lupo, Courage, let's take it home.
Thank you, Sundown. The standings so close, all for the coveted trophy. You see on your screen the title of Fortnite World Champion. 15 million just for the solos competition. 3 million for first. With 2 more games left. Who do you think comes out on top?
I would love to see the 13-year-old from South America, King, show up big. I mean, he's put on a fantastic show thus far. You have to remember, just 1 slip-up, 1 bad game, that's not enough to take you out of the league. He very easily, a solid high Elan game, a top placement, doesn't even have to be a victory royale at this point. With how well he's played, he could make his way to the top with ease.
Can anyone catch Bugha at the top of our leaderboards? The lobby is ready, ladies and gentlemen. The battle bus launches in 2, 1. Game 5 underway of the Fortnite World Cup Finals Solos competition. Can they catch Bugha? His lead remains from the incredible shockwave plays earlier. All 100 players in the biggest day of their entire lives fighting for their big share of the, well, $3 million first place spot, $15 million in total.
last game. Psalm, a last-minute clutch there. Took home a victory royale. We're going to watch his drop in here as well as everybody else near the top of this board. As we go into these later matches, folks, keep in mind we're going to try and keep an eye on those that are closest to contention, that world champion position. Very, very important to know that. Go to the board there. You see 4 of the 5 llamas in the very south edge of the map, starting at Salty, all the way down to the east of Happy Hamlet. 1 more all the way to the top middle. Those getting picked up early are very, very important. A baller for Psalm already at the beginning of the game. It's like he may have been the only one to drop up here. And are you kidding me? A Chuja, a Proxy grenade launcher.
Like, sure, he's only averaging 1 limb per match. You see, but he's in 2nd place. The values so key. He's placed in the top 18 of every match. So we played 4 games. That means he's gotten 6 points in every single match so far on Lupo. That's the big reason why he finds himself in 2nd place. To be that consistent in this lobby, absolutely insane.
Gotta break 25 to get those points.
Arkham, Rux, fighting out in Westworld, as people do call it, this desert town. Arkham has had a couple games where he's just basically got fried right off the start. Can he turn it around right now? He was top 15 earlier. Doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Rux, who's gotten the better of him a few of these previous games, having it back on him for a moment as that airstrike did come down.
Don't count him out just yet, though. This drop, honestly, one of the loot heaviest in the game. You have a lot of materials as well. A player like this, he gets in a good position, maybe even takes out Rux, doesn't have to fight anybody else down here. He can climb his way out of here with ease.
9 grenades in Rux's inventory. If he could somehow bait Arkham into a bad spot and use those to his advantage, it could be the thing that swings the tide in this battle. Hasn't thrown the Chug Splashes. Yeah, I was going to say, wondering when he was going to begin to throw them, but there they are. Chug Splash is down. 0 limbs still, as you'd expect, as he's still looking around for where Arkham could be.
Maybe the hope to save those. We didn't have to necessarily use them just yet. Big anticipation of combat before you know it, or at least the chance of it. I'm going to throw those down real quick. These two just kind of at a stalemate at the edge of the map, waiting to see if there's an opportunity to make a play. They are outside of the safe zone quite a bit. At some point, the zip lines or even the quad that spawns here might be the key to getting all the way into the safe zone soon. Grenades going out, but beamed. Rux takes quite a bit of damage from Arkham, and aggression begins. The build-up, and he's going to try and take the high ground. Shots from Rux, no contact just yet. Gonna have to do some damage before you know it. Only 96 HP is not going to necessarily be enough against a player with accuracy like Arkham's.
But he does have the combat shotgun, which is the ultimate tool this early in the game. Rux still at 96 health, has those grenades in his back pocket. Hasn't thrown any more yet. 15 builds still remaining. A very intense fight for these two. The shot comes through. Down to just 41 HP. Rux versus Arkham. Who can come out on top? Rux still with high ground. Arkham down below. Will he begin to throw these grenades? It doesn't appear so. Only 6 builds left. And remember, with only 2 games remaining in the competition today, this could spell disaster for their final performance. Arkham topping 1 shield. Definitely has a major health advantage, but still, height can make all the difference as he has the combat shotgun, but looks like for now, he's back on.
I was anticipating if Rux had made a tag, if he gotten damage on Arkham down at the bottom of that building, I would have expected a push, 100%. A chance to pick up that the 50 HP or shield because of Siphon. No damage dealt there, so Rux decides to opt his way out. King, one of our high elim players, 35 HP, gonna try and get that med kit off, but he can't quite. Time to fight it out. A little bit of a build battle and see who can take ownership of the walls. King building up and layering yet again.
Oh my goodness.
The shockwave. He's actually going for it. Are you kidding me? Lunezi goes down, and King back up to 85 HP. What a play.
On the World Cup stage.
Yeah, the kid.
He just shockwaved to the sky and tried to hit fire hand cannon his opponent.
With 35 HP.
Are you kidding me? With 35 health? Talk about confidence. It's such an insane play that it catches the opponent off guard. Stompy trying to push on in. I believe this is Dubs on the other side of the wall. Stompy gets the wall, gets the elim. Down goes Dubs. And also in the elimination feed, Aqua, our Fortnite world champion from yesterday, has eliminated Tfue.
Match 5 out of 6, 1 left. those players, the 16 that have already been eliminated, they still have one game remaining. But our current leader on the standings, Bugha, down in Lucky Landing, going to make a rotation away. Avoid any damage. At this point, going to be the most important thing is getting ahead of the game here. As the storm is pressing on in, he's only against one other player down here in Lucky. So the opt to rotate out to the west towards the river, probably the best one in the situation. Doesn't want to get challenged. He's got a free rotation up now. Slip is right there. Without realizing it, too, he is relatively close to two llamas in the south edge of the map.
Wonderful spot, either of them, one on his left, one on his right. I doubt he will since he's going through the low ground, but Bugha, so far, man, 3 out of the 4 games has been fantastic performances. He had one where he dropped off early. Remember, he, was eliminated within the first 10 players in the game, but still keeping his lead because of how well he's performed in the other 3 games up to this point. Teak did show some aggression there for a moment, but decides, nope, I'm going to fall on back. Don't want to take this 1v1 out in the open. Would rather go continue to loot on up, earn more materials because, hey, 45 builds, you think, that's a lot, but not in any case in a competitive lobby like this. And, well, since he fell back, he's able to get himself a combat shot there.
Feel good about that. Clicks in the feed, picking up an elimination on Nate. Down to 81 players remaining as this first circle starts to close. 52 seconds left before that happens.
And this first zone, very central on the map. No super drastic rotations need to come on through. Here's a replay from earlier on of how Aqua challenged and eliminated Tfue. Tfue goes to the floor. Aqua gets the floor, and Tfue stands no chance. Can't fire a shot. And there's the frustration from Tfue. He knows he has not had the day he's wanted. Competitive Fortnite, one of the winningest players of all time, getting shut down here at the Fortnite World Cup Solo Final.
I would say it's definitely a different playing field than a lot of these players are used to, no matter where they hail from. It's the first time that we've had multiple regions from the entire world all play within the same lobby, the same setups. It's all on land here, so it's just a different scenario for everybody. Especially on top of that, if you have younger players that have never had LAN experience, nerves can potentially play into it. But she pushing in the box, gets inside, and the elimination. Robabs down here.
And I like that a lot, right? Because guess what, he's already done a lot of damage to his opponent. He also does 23 more white damage, HP damage to realize, wait, I have a major health advantage. Says, you know what, if you have a trap, I'm still going to survive through it. You're so low HP that I know I'll eliminate you, even if I take 150 damage from the trap. Bugha, I mean, I guess this is kind of the mindset he has right now. shotguns in play right now in competitive Fortnite. Storm Surge did pop up, but it went away almost instantly as the slot people stopped a little quicker as things have gone on. People maybe getting more desperate, challenging more early game fights, see if they can get an advantage. Som, who won our 4th game, using his big shields and look at the inventory right now. Fake shields, chug splashes, and I like that a lot. Som at first decides, you know what, let me use this big shield, I'll get the full 50 health out of it. But because his opponent interrupts it, realizing, well, evils, that is popping 2 chug splashes, giving myself as much health as possible, and not playing greedy. I like that from Som, a sign of a veteran player. You got to take what you can get, and that's a perfect example of it right there.
Waiting to see if there's an opportunity to sneak a shot through on the surface inside that ramp. He doesn't own it. Every time he does a little bit of damage, he has an opportunity to replace it, and he does, in fact, take it. Push on through, get the wall, goes for the edit, but a big shot from the other side, down to 71. Those chug splashes coming in big. He might have to wait, though, that last one. Don't know if we'll have time to use it. Pressure from the player inside. Rotating down, immediately popping a hole out and getting in his baller. Opts to not take that fight, and probably a very good call, seeing as how he took a ton of damage on the inside where he had a chance to move away. 110 total now. The baller's full HP, though.
Here's Riverson. That legendary bolt sniper rifle. 175 total health. You take a bit of damage right there. Often set up on the left side of your screen in a metal box where you're going to be challenged at fully built metal. It's just something that when you see in competitive Fortnite with how little ammo you have, you're basically like, all right, I'm not bothering you. You're set up. I'm not bothering you. Take out and shoot me because it's almost impenetrable. It feels like with how little time you have to shoot and how little ammo you wind up having in these games. Replay from earlier on. This is Smeeth. Another one of those close box fights. Gets that ramp. Tries to challenge forward. Basically edited it into the opponent's box. That's good, Jay. Will get the combat shotgun. So a major upgrade from a common tactical shotgun up to a combat shotty. And I'm sure everyone that plays Fortnite knows just how good that is. But back over to Riverson, who's, well, rolling on through the river.
I just have to say, I'm a little surprised that he opted to take the bolt over Shadow Bomb. Looking at late game Fortnite, especially in competitive, oftentimes you see stacks of players on top of each other and no opportunity for a snipe. The Shadow Bomb is going to be a mobility he's not going to have. The baller's gone now.
Yeah.
Sitting inside this box. I don't know why he didn't take the shadow down.
To be honest, I think Riverson viewed that as, all right, I have the baller. I'm going to play around the baller being my, well, shadow bombs for this game. And that's not the case. That was what just happened was the worst thing that could have ever occurred for Riverson. His baller's gone. He's got no movement items left, and now he's stuck on this mountain in a box fight.
Just quick note, Epic Whale is currently in 6th position. Riverson in 4th, so this is a battle at the top of the leaderboard, stuck inside a box, up back and forth. And Epic cannot quite find the target. Riverson picking up a big leaderboard elimination right there.
That is a moment where I think nerves gets you a little
100%.
bit. You mentioned top 6. He's thinking in the back of his head. I'm moving here. Moving into the $1 million prize pot. And instead, Riverson wins a fight that looked impossible to win. And is now set up on top of the mountain with near max HP.
Quick look back here, Plug, our current leader. Look at the shots through there. Little shakes the hands off a little bit, blow off some steam. As an arrow goes down inside. Very, very high. On the top left of the screen, one of the more well-known players, like you said, one of the most consistent players, Jack, in all Fortnite that we've ever seen. With the speed of the builds up here, we're going to try and get a little bit of a higher view. Doesn't want to be stuck down too low in case there's playing with players rotating. Maybe some shots on the baller soon. There's pressure being applied on others and ops into that fight as well.
And if you look at where Buka is right now, on your minimap, the closest player on the west side of that zone, safe, and everyone has to move right towards him. Also, 6 minis, near max builds, 4 shadow bombs, 2 launch pads, a shockwave. Booga knows what a fantastic position he's in. If he can make it to late game, he basically has guaranteed placement points.
Making his way through here. A little bit of the leftover collection. Have to do some picking up on the inside. Pretty lucky finds on the inside here. Quite a few materials. Flint knock. He's got to redeploy a ton of minis. pretty optimal loadout for both mid-range, up close, depending on pushing him. Yep. Position-wise, no launch pads, no shadow bombs. He does have the slip, but as soon as he's away from that thing, flying, he can establish a base, but making a move after that's going to be tough. And he is getting attacked from literally every angle on the way in. Players from all sides taking shots. He's going to have to try and push his way through for an elimination, or get out of this area almost immediately. What a tough spot to be in. Shots from both sides. Puts the trap down in anticipation of somebody pushing in, and literally cannot keep the walls up enough.
And that's the downside of being one of the last players to rotate from outside the zone. Everyone who's set up, including Bugha, knows, hey, we just spray anyone. They've got to come this way. They're going to be floating right at us. If the whole lobby shoots at them, one of us is bound to get them. We're all going to get damage tags. And when the Storm Surge just popped up, everyone fiending for a little bit of damage to keep them above that threshold. Thankfully for the players in the lobby, only 2 more people need to drop before Storm Surge goes away. So don't think it'll come into play too much.
All I can imagine in a situation like that right now is from the Pro-Am, Tim the Tatman getting shot at from multiple sides. And,
yep.
It's just...
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny when...
You were one of them, I think.
Yeah, no, my teammate Sean eliminated him. Tim, we beat Tim the Tatman on land and outplaced him as we take a look at players stacked up all on the west side of the zone. What people at home don't know is that we were literally looking at Tim as we say that, which is makes it better. So, launch pad used by Bugha right away, and with 2 launch pads with all this other movement, he just needs to survive this movement. And guess what? This is a zone on the high ground. It's directly on this mountain, so for pretty early on zone, it's going to get awkward right away. Bugha has made it in, but has taken a lot of damage. Will use some minis to get back up to 150. Has made it to the zone. Benji Fishy just below, who's currently top 13 in this game.
Player to G still has a little bit of a high ground advantage. Just going to look back at Bugha, who's trying to build his way up. See if he can spot anybody on the move. This position still very, very good. 2 seconds until that pressure starts to apply, and a lot of players you see on the minimap have already started to rotate in. They're making their moves now, but shots from Bugha and many others as these players are flying in. Community launch pads, there's shadow bombs used in situations like this, and no shield on that player. Bugha right now has a total of 16 elims today. King is in second with 15.
This is all it is. You just get set up in the zone, fire people who have to move through the storm. It's the common enemy. Every player in the lobby. Issa did just go down to class, and we also saw Vivid drop a couple moments ago. So nothing really from Vivid this game, unfortunately. Bugha 1 elim so far. Continue to look on down. Here's the perspective of a drop coming on in. Everyone's made it up on the mountain right now. Still some people on the edge. You see the likes of Cease still alive. Clicks, Zate, Creo, Cosmic, Skype, who earlier on took home a game of his own in game 2.
Quick note, by the way, Riversun, who we saw eliminate the 6th place position, has gone down himself in 4th. So he is out of this game. 44 players reversing your feed, going down to Dementos. And we are not even at placement position just yet. And we're looking at the 6th to 7th circle transition starting in 10 seconds. Everyone has to move. The people that have the best opportunity to take shots back, they're going to be able to pick up a lot of eliminations. Players are going to be on rotation. Things are about to get real tough for a lot of
the
people.
edit. So they just wait, hop the ball, and roll. Now, I don't think you can hold high ground from this early on. I mean, yes, high ground will be very good, but this is going to be a long rotation if you're going to wind up making that happen. Blacks is up top for the moment. Bugha, you see him soaring on over with the shockwave grenade. Setting up, always getting ahead of the zone as far as possible. Pika there as well.
Back behind him, going to take even more shots at players on rotation. Very smart plays. The shadow bomb, and he still has 3 more, so this rotation better be a good one. Got a chance to get ahead of a lot of people here.
I really do love this. He knows how close he is to placement points, and he's got such a lead right now that unless someone has a monster performance, if he just gets placement points, makes it to the top 25 again, with just 2 games left, that could be really all he needs to secure this Fortnite World Championship. And he got the zone. The zone's going back his way, but Bugha goes to edit out, and there's a shotgun waiting for him. down to under 50 HP, frantically trying to pop these minis. The spray coming on through. Can our leader hang on to placement points? Storm Surge activated on some of the remaining players. Bugha peeks out again for a shot. Not going to connect yet. 32 players left. Shadow Bomb being used. Can Bugha make it to the top 25? 3 more points can be the difference between making it as our #1 player today or second place. Bugha still bouncing up. 30 players left. Just so frantically looking around for potential victory.
You'll notice as soon as they're box to box, right next to another player, players like Bugha will opt to build straight up. One more, 26 remaining. If one more goes down, he's going to pick up placement points. Keep an eye on the feed just to see only one elimination remains. There it is, 25. So he's already into the placement points now. It's going to push him even higher on the leaderboard. Everybody left picks those points up too, but as we move, players starting to drop left and right. Sky still sitting on a baller, as well as Fatch, Pika with the ultimate high ground, and Bugha right in the middle, right in the thick of it, looking at the outside. That's a very smart play. In that moment, you have a baller flying up. You don't want those players to hold on to those. Taking the shots to break it out, maybe force an engagement.
Only 8 builds.
15 now.
Out of builds, no movement items. Made it to top 15. For me, this is already a fantastic game for Bugha. You've got placement points. Another elimination. How about a second? Bugha, what are you doing? 2 elims come in. He's back up to near full HP, and he's in the top 10, and he's got all the materials he could ever need. Bugha, how are you making this happen? From no mats and no movement. One player nearby. Bugha at 3 elims, still ahead of the zone. He can absolutely win this game, Dr. Lupo. 2 away from more placement points.
Opts to drop the extra weapons in his inventory. A gold AR, the green pump, 6 minis and a campfire. 42 builds remaining, and he's just looking. 5 players left. He is sitting in one of the best spots I think he could have possibly imagined. Creo picking up an elimination. He's sandwiched between Pika, Pisa's, Creo on the ultimate low ground. He's looking any chance to pop through when a player is not looking to get a shot in might be enough.
Still has mats, 1 player below. Bugha just staying ahead of this. Has only taken 1 score tick so far. Player up top fighting, player down low fighting. Can Bugha make the impossible happen? Dodges the trap as well. Taking a little bit of storm damage. Bugha's got to make it on in. 1 build left, drops on in Bugha. No! But either way,
it's all good.
He's done what he needs to do. He knows how important that game is. Now we're in our top 3. Pika up top. We were following him earlier on today. Pizzas and Creo all the way down low.
0 builds in Pika's inventory. It's going to be tough. He's going to have to drop in and go for a fight. Cannot connect. Pizzas finds that elimination. Creo gets the final one in game 5. Goes to Creo.
I don't think he can believe it. I don't know if anyone caught it at home, but what he does right there is Flint knocks the opponent, hits him for that body damage, and then shoots him into the zone. Great game for Creo right there, and you see repping his team. Woo, clutching on up in the end. Here it is, the final moments. The zone closing quickly. A fully closed zone. Creo's got to build on up. You see, health advantage was to Pizzas. Pizzas would win that game, but a full damage Flint knock connects and swings the tide in his favor. Here it is one more time. Boom! Right to the chest, sends him into the zone, and wins the game. From Creo as he takes game 5, the victory royale, 10 points plus his eliminations.
Huge game there, and Jack, we still have one more.
We do. We still have one more game here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals. I don't see any way that Bugha's fallen out of first with that performance. He absolutely popped off. We're about to take a look at our standings, but Bugha may just be in a position where all he needs to do is find 1 or 2 points. And
there it is. 1 or 2, are you kidding me?
Ladies and gentlemen, Bugha sits atop his throne, far and away in first place. He is 1 game from $3 million. The most eliminations, tied for the most victory royales, by far the most points. Bugha has put on a show and is nearing the title of Fortnite World Champion.
Here's a look at the remainder of your top 20 there. 17 points. That's what you need to break into the top 20, Jack.
Yep.
But even then, you're still 30 points away from first place.
You need a 20-plus elim game with a victory royale and 0 for Bugha. Good luck, have fun, but we do have Jordan Fisher on the floor, one of our members of that last game.
Playing health right there at the very end in such a high-caliber game. Again, another stacked lobby right here at the end. Yo, hoping for some lucky health ticks in your favor, and that happened. Thank God for the best reaction for the wins so far today, in my opinion. Where's your headspace at going into this last game?
Right now, I'm on third. I just need to clutch up, make sure that I don't make any dumb plays. I just keep calm and keep how I've been playing.
Well, it's great work. Fantastic job. Great victory royale. Back up to you guys.
Great to hear from Creo right there. It takes game number 5, the nerves in those final moments. You saw the celebration. I think he even almost couldn't believe how it all ended on up. But victory royale, you know the difference between 21st and 20th is over $60,000. And a win like that, with how close the standings are, could make the difference between earning $50,000, which is still great, but $112,000, which is to follow. But we're not quite ready for Game 6 yet. We do have ball.
Guys, I do have that, and what a performance here from Bugha today. Every single game almost placing consistently in the points and finding himself some eliminations as well. Only falling in that second game early on. We're going to take a look at some of the eliminations that led him to a top 5 finish here. Bugha, first off, breaking the baller on the side of zone, making sure that he knows exactly who's moving in. Why is he moving in with the baller inside of the zone, inside of the center? And then as well, getting an elimination here onto glakMa. Absolutely amazing job by Bugha there. He actually got into top 5, so an amazing finish. He's got 2 points from that, plus all the other performances, other placements in that match. We've got only 1 match remaining. Just like you guys said, it has to be a big one for somebody to overtake Bugha at this point. So Lupo, Courage, please close us out.
Thank you, Balla. As you know, so much on the line here this weekend of the Fortnite World Cup, but it is not the only thing that people are excited about with Fortnite right now. Dr. Lupo, coming on, and I'm sure a lot of people in this sold-out arena know this week it's time for a new season. You guys want to see the first tease for the new season of Fortnite? I guess we should show it to him. I have not seen this before. Oh! All that Epic told us is think back. August 1st, 2019, the next season of Fortnite. Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is, Dr. Lupo?
CD in the third, I bet, is going nuts right now. Jack, Dusty Depot.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you guys excited for the next Fortnite season? August 1st, all will be revealed. And my God, I got the chills right now. That's the first time we saw that. They didn't show us anything.
It is.
Oh my goodness, you see how excited everyone is. And we are moments away from the final game. Everything that's happened. You see the leaderboards. You see how far it is. You're Bugha. You're up by so much. What's the rest of this lobby thinking right now?
It might at this point be a battle for second place, Jack. Such a lead right now. Bugha showing why he feels as though he deserves world champion.
Yeah.
And at this point, I mean, you can't really blame him. He's playing out of his mind, playing incredibly intelligently. Positioning is key, and he's going for placement every single time. He's showing why he's on top of the table.
I can't believe he is so far and away the best. It has been something that I think a lot of people expected him to do well, but this well, anyone to perform this well, be this far ahead, unbelievable in a stacked lobby like this. Folks, use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Tell us your thoughts on the teaser we just saw, on what you're expecting from these final games, on your thoughts overall on the World Cup. It has been such a blast to be at this point. I cannot believe the road from where we started to here. These online qualifiers, everyone getting on in, the big names, the teams getting involved. Fortnite competitive is at a fantastic watching online.
look down at the players getting ready for their final match of the day. 6 games total, the end of this next and final match. We will find out who the Fortnite World Champion Singles competition is. If you're online, make sure you get some shout-outs to those that you think could climb the board. It is still anybody's game. We've seen crazy comebacks before, and it would not surprise me to see it again. Jack, going into this last match.
Yes.
The nerves for some of these players probably at an all-time high.
Yes.
You have to realize there's going to be more after this, though.
Oh,
there's
sure.
got to be more after this, Jack.
This is not the end by any means. Yes, it's the biggest event in Fortnite competitive history, but there is still new season coming out, more and more to be announced, I'm sure, very, very soon. All we know is the players are getting loaded on up and ready. You see them all around. For all of them, their families in attendance. So many people here I've met this weekend, Ben, have been. It's their first ever gaming event. You know, not a lot happens in the Northeast because, well, quite frankly, it's expensive in this area of the country, but Epic do it, and they did it in style. What a fantastic venue. Outside at the fan events, too. It's been so cool, and I've been a part of some of my favorite. I'm saying it right now.
It's touching, Jack.
It might just be, that's all I know. Looking around, seeing everyone just excited, flowing back on in. Just get the lobby all set up. Want to make sure everything's go. Remember, after this ends, if you're in the venue, don't just rush on out to get home and go back outside of the fan experience. Crown our champion, crown our world champion. You want to be here, congratulate them, celebrate the achievement, the trophy. How are they going to get that trophy home to the players? Because
Jack will give you $20 if you charge down every
I career is much more worth it, I believe. Again, you know, look at these lobbies. We played on these setups the other day. You know, you creative. You can just sit there. So the leaderboards, and we're used to in-game tournaments. The solo and duos you see there on the screen. The solos, you know, competition is there. You click and compete, and the prize pool pops up in-game at 3. And like that's what first said it to me that we